Good day, this is Jimmy. Thank you for joining us. This is Old Path Fabrication. Working on our old car today, working on a package tray. Let me go in this old Monte Carlo. It's gonna be the same any 70s era, even 60s era. Right above the back seats where we're gonna be working, it's rotting out. But if you're building one and you're running into these types of things, or you just want to see some fabrication tricks, stick in with this video. We'll show you how to make some relief cuts, some metal shrinking, and explain to you how shrinking works. I'll go on into this because this is a pretty interesting operation. There's several things that I've ran into. I'm already kind of into it, and there's several things that I've ran into on it that, well, first thing, let me explain to you what a package tray is, or show you. Hard to explain to you. In the old cars, the windows, the back glass, you'd look in that back glass and you'd see maybe there's some nice speakers in there, or a little, a felt padding or whatever. Underneath that, you're going to run into the package tray. And surely this is where some big 6x9 was at. However, they put it down and somebody talked them into buying them a Toyota. Well, that Toyota's done there, but it's probably long since gone, and they probably in a Nissan or some other kind of jelly bean type car today. And this old thing sitting under the shade tree. Of course, that was back in the days when children got out and got their BB guns and shot windows out of old cars, and well, there you go. What I'm working on right now, before I can put that last rain gutter in that back glass, I have to rebuild the package tray. But it falls a little short. So right in here, I've cut all that old out, and I'm building these pieces. And the first thing that I notice when I'm building these pieces, I'm gonna turn this camera just a little bit. Maybe I won't shake you up too much. And you could run into this. You could put that straight across and replace that metal. I put this in the brake, and I bent it on the top and bent it on the bottom, so that package tray would hit right here and we can get a nice weld. But what I've noticed, and what I'm going to run into maybe on this video, this is straight and this is not. This is what we're dealing with because that piece is straight. Now the top, we can't pull it down because that's our natural curve. However, this is the product that we're going to come up with once we go through the procedures that I'm about to show you today. So somewhere we're going to have to make some relief cuts, because this has to come up. If you push this down, you're altering the car. It's just not going to be right. But this, there's nothing wrong with this. We're not going to adjust this. We're going to adjust this. We're going to put some relief cuts in it in different areas. We're going to push it up from the bottom, and we're going to close this gap right here. So what I'm saying is, when you put this in, if you run into this particular problem, and you probably will, because these old cars got some curves about them. That's what I like about them. They're pretty curvy. But you don't want to get rid of the curves. You want to keep that action in that car. You want to keep that personality in that car. I'm going to get underneath there after I make some relief cuts and push this up to where what we're dealing with here is a pretty good sized gap, because that straighten that bottom panel and all that's got to come up into place, because what we want to do after we grind our welds and everything, we have a strip. Try to explain it better. Talk to my wife about these videos sometimes, and she says, well, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I can tell you I need some work. But here we are. If your head's into it, cut the strip. Now, we've already decided that what we're doing here, when we get through, we're going to have to raise it up. All right, but that's not where this welds. Once we weld it up, what we're going to do, we're going to take this strip of metal and we're going to finish that rain trough. And this will be welded to that. But that has to be in place. And then we can work on this rain trough. This is what we're looking at right now on this rain trough base here. But through this video, we're going to get it like this. This is something that we're going to achieve before the end of this video. And it looks like a genuine mess at this moment. But there's a way, a little time, a little patience. Gonna make those relief cuts. I'm gonna push it up. This has to be about 1/8 of an inch gap. We're not moving this at all. This is exactly where it needs to be. But what we're building has to hit it. When it does hit it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna weld up those relief cuts while I've got some pressure on it and keep it there. I think I'm barely in the camera at the moment, but I'm gonna measure with this old railroad spike. They're here for building knives, which that's another story. Maybe we'll get into that with you one day, but I use them to build knives. All right. Right now we're building cars. Gonna make that relief cut. Now my first line is gonna be about that spike long, but I'm gonna measure that spike. And I'm gonna maybe say 3/4 of that spike down. We're gonna make another relief cut. This is just so I can get it on the other side. These specialty tools, you know, you can adjust them according to what's laying around your shop. Now, the next cut, I'm gonna make 50%. I'm gonna make it into half of that spike. Okay. So that's 3 relief cuts. Kind of think we might go ahead and get one more in the half of that spike. So we're going to do similar to the same thing on the other side. I really want that to be round, and may not have to do this one, the first one, but I'm going to do those 3. So let me get to the other side, see if we're still in the camera. Bring my siphoning tool here. All right, the first one we went in 1 railroad spike. Almost back in the camera. The next one we went in 3/4 of that siphoning tool. And then the next one we went in on half. So we're going to see what we can come up with that. Of course, I want to cut as little as possible. So some of the end ones may not have to be cut, but I got some sort of a plan. I see right in here we're a whole railroad spike, so there may have to be something there, but I'm thinking it's not going to take all of this. So we're going to make a couple, and then we're going to try putting a little pressure on it. Just get a good solid prop in here and get it in place and weld it. And when I weld it, it's going to draw a little bit. So may have, if it's a significant amount of pushing up, may even have to trim it and wedge it just a little bit. But the thing about it is you don't bend the stuff to work for you. You bend the stuff to work for the car. Let's make some cuts. We'll put that in there. Maybe it'll keep from bending my new floor pan, because gonna put a little pressure on it. Got my wood out of whack. It's a little violent over here, but it looks pretty good on the other side. Let me move that block. Not here for violence, folks. I do have something there. If I can get all this back in sync. All right, my relief cuts are getting a little tight, so I'm gonna have to open them back up. So I'll at least open this one back up and maybe go on and weld it and move on to a different spot. I pushed it up, we got this weld. All right, we're gonna move on down to here. We'll push it up, see if we have to wedge this or whatever. We're gonna fix this curve first. Then we'll move on down to the other side. All right, I feel like we've got something we can live with. So I'm gonna sew up this relief cut right here. All right, well, you understand what a relief cut is now. To make this stuff, you see that curve starting to form. To make it by hand, there's certain fabrication tricks that you need to know. I'm sure that would have been thrown in a press and pressed out with that curve in it. And it's almost a curve that you wouldn't really even see until you put it to the test. And these interesting tools we have here. I'm very happy with the results. We haven't disturbed this at all. Been told I'm kind of too straightforward, not personal enough. Everybody's different. The personal part of it is I'm sharing my life with you. I'm sharing my experience with you, right or wrong. I'm showing you what I've got here and the way I would continue on with a salute till I got a solution that doesn't destroy the integrity of the car. I don't know if integrity is the word we're looking for here. It probably is. But as I think of the word integrity, which means do the right thing even if no one's looking, we need more integrity today. Yeah, that might be the right word, because there's a lot of people that would just not put no metal in here. They'd sling and throw and fiberglass and wire screen, and well, we're not into that. But these things should apply to life. Integrity. Do the right thing when no one else is looking. That's integrity. Looking for my first relief cut without burning my fingers. All right. Whoa. Battle of the Bulge. And then first. You can see what I'm doing a whole lot more than I can from back here. Probably saying, don't drag me into this. Well, not real happy with that. Man ought to wear gloves. Just saying. Gonna make this relief cut. Really close. Very nice. Let's do it. All right, we'll let that cool a little bit. Make sure this is not stressing. I'll move it down just a little bit more and get the rest of that curved. In the right spot. We're touching here. The arch looks nice. I think we'll go with that. I think because I'm tightening up in this corner, not exactly getting the curve that I would like to have, but I got a trick for it. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna stop right there and see if I can get that other 1/16 of an inch. I'm shrinking that metal, I see it moving. What that does, and you use it in panels and stuff all the time, but what it does, all right, for an old school tip, let me stop and explain that to you. Is the molecules in metal is like snowflakes, and they're spread out like that, kind of tied in together like this. All right, when you heat it, they separate. It spaces them out somewhat. They become separated. When you heat metal, it is going to automatically swell. During that swell that we're talking about, it's going to separate like this. I hope you can see this demonstration. Now, as it cools, it'll come back and it'll, where it was, might not even go up as tight as it was. However, you've heated it. And that's where you get a warp if you dealing with some real thin metal. But on this case right here, we heated this metal and we cooled it real fast. So when it goes back, it's not going to go back like it was. It's going to go back with momentum. That's how you harden steel. That's how you shrink steel. Is you take that and change the temperature drastically. We throwed some cold water on it, which is going to make it go back with momentum. And when it goes back with momentum, it's going to be tighter. Those molecules are going to be tighter than they were, which is going to make it smaller. It's going to make it shrink. It's bringing that metal together tighter and harder. But the thing is as it comes together, if you shrink it fast, it comes together with momentum and it causes a shrink. And that's what we've done here today. Old school trick. This is the gap that we were looking at when we started. And we're fixing to go to where we're at now.
Close that gap down where I feel like it needs to be. Got about a 1/16 of an inch. It's going to be for that lip to go in to finish that gutter. Hey, thank you for watching this video. If you can, please hit that subscribe button. We'll see some more here. Thank you.